you guys. So today we are going to be doing a lab where we are going to discover what geotropism is. So for this lab today, there is a handout in Canvas that you can print off. If you don't have a printer, I'll kind of guide you through what you can put in your notebook to draw. So for the lab setup that I'm going to show you, I have a piece of paper towel that I've traced with my Petri dish. I'm going to use a Petri dish. I'm going to use some cotton balls, some beans that have been soaked, and 10 milliliters of water. So like I've said, I've traced my paper towel. I'm going to go ahead and cut that out carefully. And I'm going to then place that into the bottom of my Petri dish. So today is all about setting this lab up because we are going to make observations today and tomorrow, and then we're going to then make our final observations on Monday when we come back from our 3-day weekend. So I have my cutout paper towel. I'm going to place it in my Petri dish. I'm going to take my cotton ball, kind of spread it out. 2 should be enough. I get it all spread out. And then I'm going to pour my 10 milliliters of water onto the paper towel. Then I'm going to take 4 beans that have been soaking, and I'm going to place them in the 4 positions like a clock. So the 12 o'clock position, so I'm going to take my bean, place it at a 12 o'clock position. I'm going to take another bean and place it at a 3 o'clock position. I'm going to take my 3rd bean, place it at my 6 o'clock position, and my 4th bean, and I'm going to place that in my 9 o'clock position. And I'm going to then cap it, and I'm going to go ahead and tape this up, and then we are going to then place it going sideways, just like this picture shows. And we're going to see what happens to the stems and the roots as they come out of this bean, these 4 beans. So now that I have my lab set up, and it's going to be standing sideways like this with my 12 o'clock facing up, I need to make a prediction of how I think the root and the stem are going to grow for each bean, okay, with it being in this type of position. So if you do not have this printed, I want you to draw this in your notebook right now with the Petri dish and your 4 beans set up, and write a 12, 3, 6, and 9 for me. So do that now. You will also need a green and brown colored pencil or marker, so you will need that available. So you are going to then, after you have this drawn in your notebook, you are going to predict how you think the stem and the root will grow for each of the 4 beans. So the green dot that I put on each of the 4, that's where you're going to have your line start. So you're going to draw me how you think the stem's going to grow. Do you think the stem's going to grow up? Do you think the stem will grow down? Do you think the stem will grow to the right or to the left? So pick one of the locations in which you think your green stem will grow and do it for all 4. So in this position, how do you think the stem will grow? So you're making your guess on how it will grow. Same thing for at position 3. which direction do you think your stem will grow? Do you think it will grow to the right, to the left, up, down? You are just making a guess. Then at the 6 o'clock position, do you think your stem will grow up, down, to the right, or to the left? You'll draw your line. And then at the 9 o'clock position, remember this Petri dish is standing upright like this. How do you think it will grow? So how do you think the stem will grow? Do you think it will grow down, up, right, or left? Then you need to make a prediction on how you think the roots will grow. Okay, so I'm going to make a dot for the location where the root's going to come out for each. And I want you to make your hypothesis in the direction you think the root's going to grow for each of the 4 beans. Do you think the root's going to grow down when it's upright like this? Do you think the root will grow up? Do you think the root will grow to the side or to the left for this 12 o'clock position? And you'll draw your line, okay? And then for the 3 o'clock position, do you think the root will grow up, down, right, or left? You'll draw your line. You will then go to the 6 o'clock position. Do you think the root will grow down, up, right, or left? Draw your line. And then at the 9 o'clock position, what direction do you think the root will grow? Do you think it will grow up, down, right, or left? And you'll draw your 4th line. And that will be your hypothesis on how you think the root and stem will grow for each of the 4 beans when it's positioned on a plate just like that. Next, you need to set up this data table. So if you printed this off, then you don't need to draw this in your notebook. But if you did not print this off, I need you to copy this in your notebook because we are going to then make our observations every day at the 12 o'clock position, the 9 o'clock position, the 6, and the 3. So you're going to copy this in, and then we are on day 1. So for day 1, we aren't going to draw anything because none of the roots or stems have grown. Tomorrow, we'll make our observations again to see what's happened. Days 3 and 4 are over the weekend, and then on day 5, on Monday, we will make our final observations. So again, you've copied this in your notebook, you've made your hypothesis, and then you've copied this data table down, and we've done nothing for today. Or you have printed this paper off and just written on the paper. Okay, thank you.